Good morning, good afternoon, and good evening, everybody. Thank you for tuning into another Supatease video. And with this one, we've got a massive class update. They are releasing tier set bonuses by the buckets. I was not expecting to get this much information all at once and have it all just completely unloaded, but they really aren't holding back here. So I'm going to be covering some of the tier set bonuses for Monk, Paladin, Hunter, Rogue, Demon Hunter, Mage, Shaman, Warrior, and Warlock, and also covering some of the lessons that they've learned now from previous patches in the game, so that this next patch is actually looking so much more amazing than it already was to begin with. So moving through this giant update, basically it's going to talk about how you're going to earn set bonuses, tier set bonuses. They're only going to really come from the raid and the vault until a certain amount of time has elapsed, which at that point you'll be able to earn currencies to be able to convert your normal gear into these tier set bonus pieces of gear. So this way, if you get unlucky with never finding a piece of gear from your vault or from the raid, that you'll be able to get it, and also to allow your alts to be able to catch up at a certain point. So they've hit the nail on that by allowing you to just farm it and catch up your alts, as well as dealing with some of the potential bad RNG. Now, there is likely going to be some bad feelings for the first couple of weeks, no doubtedly, if you're unlucky and you're not getting some of these pieces, because these set bonuses are quite insane. There's like a sneak peek right here on a couple of them, but we got a lot more of them to cover. You're gonna really want to have these on some. Maybe other ones you're not going to care too much. There are a couple really not that great ones, at least for PvP, that I was able to pick up on. But I am very glad that within this blue post they discussed making sure that alts were viable after a certain amount of time. So you probably want to focus on one character, grind through all the new progression models of that, and then it's going to have it available account wide to all of your other characters, so that you can then explore some other options as well and be able to catch up on those set bonuses. Like that. Not really a big fan of the bad RNG potential at the start, but beyond that, this is definitely better. Also, to upgrade the new legendary, you won't have to only do Torghast. You'll be able to get that currency from all the other aspects of the game that they list in this article. That's another win, not forcing somebody down into one specific thing on their loot. But you know what? Maybe there's a night where I can't find any arena queues. I'd like to work towards getting that upgrade, so I'm going to go do a Torghast. Not a big deal. It's not like I'm being forced to do it every week over and over and over and over. Much prefer this over the previous iterations for it. So let's just start looking at the set bonuses. And for the first one, we're going to be looking at the Monk. Monk, specifically Windwalker, is absolutely insane, but we'll take a look at them all. Remember, these are data mined, and these aren't necessarily guaranteed to stay the same. So if you want to make sure that you're constantly up to date, make sure you're subscribed to the channel, because I'm pumping up these updates literally as they happen. Like, quite literally, these things happened, and I wanted to get this video going so fast that not even all the set bonuses were out. So if you want to catch the remainder of those set bonuses, also make sure you're subscribed, because that video will be coming out very shortly after this, assuming that they also released them. But for this, Brewmaster, your 2 set bonus is targets ignited by Breath of Fire deal an additional 4% less damage to you. So nice little extra bit of damage mitigation. 4% is not that big. Breath of Fire empowers your next Tiger Palm or Blackout Kick, increasing shuffle duration and brew cooldown reduction by 100%. Brewmaster, I'm a little bit not familiar with, right? So I don't know how great that is for you as a Brewmaster. Cooldown reduction definitely sounds fun to play with, but if you're a Brewmaster out there, you're probably going to know better than me if this thing is actually good for you. Doesn't sound like we're going to see Brewmasters in PvP with this as a result. And I got to sneeze. Bless me. All right, moving on to Mistweaver. I'm sorry, Mistweavers. I'm really sorry about this, but at least in PvP, you're probably not going to care if you get unlucky. Your 2 set bonus is Essence Font's residual healing effect lasts an additional 2 seconds. You do not use this in PvP, other than maybe rated battlegrounds. In PvE, it seems like they're focusing on the healer's AoE heals. I don't know how much this is going to benefit you in raids. As for my understanding, although it might be limited, is that in raids, healing becomes less and less valuable, and it becomes more about doing damage. And a lot of these AoE heals, like Chain Heal, aren't actually that effective, as I've learned. So these set bonuses seem to be trying to make those abilities more effective, but will they? And they're irrelevant in PvP. Your 4 set, Drinking Thunder Focus Tea summons a Progenitor Rune of Healing. I'm assuming this is a circle on the ground. Increases all healing dealt while inside of its bounds by 123. Who knows what that number is going to be. Again, focused healing on the ground. If there's any positional reason that you need to move, be it PvP or a raid boss mechanic, I'm not sold. Mistweavers, I'm sorry, but these don't excite me. Now, Windwalker, okay. Increase your Fist of Fury damage by 40%. You're gonna need to get that no matter what you're doing in the game. That's pretty good. And the 4-set bonus is after 10 offensive abilities, your next 3 offensive abilities deal an additional 22% damage. Could you line this up with a Spinning Crane Kick? Could you line this up with a Rising Sun Kick? In PvP, most certainly you could. This is going to give you massive AoE damage. Windwalker is going to dominate. Again, it's a case of the winners just keep on winning. Windwalker that's pretty pog. All right, moving over to Paladin. We gotta keep this train rolling because there's a lot of bonuses to go over in this video. So with Paladin, as Holy Paladin, again, folks, looks like they were looking at their AoE heals, like I noted. Dawn will come. Casting Word of Glory causes your next Light of Dawn to heal for 50% more and cast twice. Curious if this has any interesting synergies with the Necrolord Covenant, where you also get Light of Dawn procs. This cannot occur more often than once per 30 seconds, so it's already limited. And then the 4-set is each target hit by Light of Dawn has a 100% chance to reduce the remaining cooldown of Avenging Wrath by 2 seconds. Now, in PvE, again, I don't know how effective these AoE heals are or how valuable they are, if they're even relevant, right? You're going to want to take that into account. But in PvP, if you played with classes that have a lot of pets, and you're somehow getting Light of Dawn on a truckload of pets, right? Like Demo Lock, and Demo Lock seems to be getting better and better. That Avenging Wrath cooldown might start getting down a bit more rapidly, but this is also a very expensive spell from Light of Dawn. So, maybe you're going to run it in PvP, probably not. Prop Paladin, my eyes are always worried about these tank set bonuses, right? Because other specs can wear other specs legendaries, so I would assume other specs tier sets. So let's see what this is for Prot. Casting Shield of Righteous increases your block chance by 4% for 15 seconds, stacking up 3 times, trying to help you out with some active mitigation. And then your 4-set is blocking an attack, has a 33% chance to cast Judgment at your attacker. Kind of that reflective damage theme for Prop Paladin. It fits the theme of it. Again, in PvP, I would like to see Prop Paladin either allocated as a healer spec so it can't queue with other healers. I think that would be a much better way of dealing with it at the moment in PvP, because it's most frustrating when it's paired with a healer. There's a little bit more you can do when it's the only healer in the game, but you got Shaman and Paladin together, it becomes pretty problematic. This is probably just going to make you insane for dueling in PvP. I don't know how viable this will make you in PvE, right? At the moment as a Prop Paladin, will you be able to compete with the Guardian Druids or the Vengeance Demon Hunters? You don't have a lot of mobility to get away from big high-level key damage, so I don't know if this block chance will help you out with that, basically. But it doesn't seem like it's jumping off the page to me for PvP either. With knowing the kit of Prop Paladin anyways, it's probably not going to change too much. Retribution Paladin, when you benefit from Art of War, you gain a Seraphim for 2 seconds. So when you get that proc for an extra Blade of Justice, Seraphim is when you do your really, really big damage in PvP, but it's only 2 seconds. And it's usually when you've comboed it with something else. So you might proc this while you're walking to your target and then not even get there before it runs out. So 2 seconds seems a little bit slim. And then also Art of War has a 50% chance to reset the cooldown of Wake of Ashes instead of Blade of Justice. Now that could be pretty nutty for generating a ton of holy power, for getting a ton of AoE damage. This is going to make you viable in PvE. I'm not sure if we're going to see Ret Paladins on the MDI stage as a result of these set bonuses, but they're interesting for PvP. They're not ridiculously over the top like the Windwalker Monk ones that we saw. They kind of change the way that you might be thinking about your cooldowns in a more interesting way too, which is cool. So these might just be fun to play with. Again, Ret's already kind of winning, so you're sort of getting away with this pretty good, but that 2 second duration might not be that great. Now looking at Hunters, we've got Killing Frenzy for Beast Mastery Hunter. Your 2-set is your kill command critical strikes increased by 15% for each stack of Frenzy your pet has. So maintaining the stacks of Frenzy is going to be very important. That's going to be a lot of damage. And also your 4-set is Kill Command, critical hits, increase the damage, and cooldown reduction of your next Cobra Shot by 40%. Cobra Shot does a ton of damage in PvP. So BM Hunter, I remember it was really viable in BFA and PvE because of all the crit corruption. So getting more crit makes me think that this could increase its viability. Again, I'm not super in tune with that, but I just wanted to point that out. I saw that. In PvP, this is make you nutty. I mean, your Cobra Shot was already doing a ton of damage. Now it's going to do 40% more damage when you crit with Kill Command. Gives you a reason to press Kill Command because you don't really use Kill Command in PvP. But these set bonuses, again, BM Hunter, you're going to keep on winning with these ones. Marksmanship Hunter. This is a spec that I've got my eyes on. What's it going to be getting here? So Trick Shots now also increase the damage of the affected shot by 30%. So a little bit of, you're going to need to get your AoE off in PvP. I'm not sure how well that will go for you. Or in PvP, sorry. Foresight is spending 80 focus grants you 2 charges of Trick Shots. Maybe I'm misunderstanding what Trick Shots is here. I might be misunderstanding. I thought this was something that was applied when you multi-shot and it would like bounce your shots around, but perhaps that's changed. You have to let me know. This isn't jumping off to the page with me like the BM Hunter one is. So initially, I'm not thinking it's that impressive. Survival Hunter, on the other hand, 2-set bonus. When Kill Command resets, it has a 40% chance to make your next Wildfire Bomb incur no cooldown. And then your 4-set is your Wildfire Bombs deal 30% additional damage. This bonus is increased to 80% for bombs empowered by Mad Bombardier. So Survival Hunters coming in like the little bombermans, you know. Also for like the Mad Bombers from Hearthstone or something, like you're gonna be chucking out a lot of bomb damage. The Wildfire Bomb build from BFA was also a lot of fun. There were a couple of things that were good about BFA, so I'm actually interested to see how this plays out for survival. Those seem like some pretty big chunky numbers, especially for PvP, making you viable in PvE. That's like a toss-up right now with everything that's going on, right? You're going to have to wait and see what the parses say and all that stuff. It's all about a bunch of data crunching. But for PvP, these types of numbers make me think survival has a good shot here. So clear winners for BM and survival. MM, not really understanding it. For Rogue, we've got some big winners for Rogue as well. Assassination. Your 2-set bonus is going to be Shiv's debuff causes your bleeds to gain 25% crit strike for 9 seconds. Shiv also has an honor talent that reduces healing on the target by a significant amount for PvP. That's a lot of single target damage with a ton of crit. And then now their 4-set bonus is Vendetta causes poisons and bleeds in your target to expire 100% faster. So these poisons and bleeds are going to be ticking insanely faster and they're going to be critting a lot. Okay, Assassination, you win with this one. Those seem like some pretty exciting set bonuses. Outlaw Rogue, your main Gauche has a 25% chance to fire a pistol shot. Okay, and then your pistol shot has a 50% chance to load a hidden bullet from your sleeves up to 6 times. After loading 6 bullets, Between the Eyes has its cooldown reset and costs no energy. Again, I'm thinking PvP, right? I think in PvE, because Outlaw Rogue dominated BFA, that they're just not going to let it be viable in PvE, really. So I wouldn't imagine this is going to make it based on reading it in PvE, but in PvP, 50% chance. You're Between the Eyes, it costs no energy. Maybe get a big double crit or something like that. It does not sound nearly as impressive as the Assassination one here. Now for Subtlety, Shadow Strike has a 20% chance to grant Shadow Blades for 5 seconds. You can get a lot of just random proc, more sustained damage for sub. Maybe that's some comp viability in PvP specifically. And then your 4-set is your finishing moves have a 4% chance per combo point to cast Shadow. So you get AoE Shadow Strike to proc this Shadow Strike to proc Shadow Blades to get Shadow Blades up the whole dang game. This would be scary in PvP if this didn't also likely mean that it's going to break CC. So the counter to this could be to just stack together, but maybe you just die if you stack together. Also, it's a really low, well, 4 times 5 actually. Oh, never mind. Maybe we see some subtlety damage comps, you know? Maybe finally not playing with a mage, maybe playing with like a warlock and actually just focusing on getting out a ton of damage. I'm sure as a rogue, you're probably looking at it as like, I don't know where that's going to break my mage's CC, but also think outside the box. Maybe you're playing with a boomkin or the cyclone. I don't care about it breaking. Or you're playing with warlock who's just focusing on getting out damage in PvP. That could be exciting. This is going to give you some nice cleave in PvE as well, potentially. And Subtlety was already doing really good single target in PvE. So, I mean, this could open up new things. You got to be a little bit open to it, but I could see why it's frustrating. But I'm a little more interesting. Outlaw, I'm not sold on this one yet, but maybe it's crazy. You got to let me know if you play Outlaw in the chat down below in the comments. Demon Hunter, we're looking at Havoc. Your 2-set bonus is increased Blade Dance and Death Sweep damage by 20%. Can't argue, just flat out damage. And then every 5th Blade Dance or Death Sweep instantly refunds its own cooldown and cost. Casting this empowered Blade Dance or Death Sweep has a 15% chance to instantly refund its own cooldown and cost. So you're just going with extra damage on it. Maybe you do more sustain damage with that in PvP. It could be interesting. In PvE, that's going to be a lot of extra AoE sustain. So it might be seeing more competitive viability, maybe, with PvE. For Vengeance Demon Hunter, is there anything spooky in here? That's what I'm thinking about. Is 2-set bonuses. Damage dealt by Immolation Aura has a 10% chance to generate a Lesser Soul Fragment. PvP, you don't care about that. In PvE, it's just a little bit extra sustain. 4-set, consuming a Lesser Soul Fragment has a 100% chance to grant you 2 seconds of Immolation Aura or extend an Immolation Aura by 2 seconds, so giving you some AoE. Again, I'm not sure how much you're at high-level keys or something like that where you're tanking and AoEing like this, but it's going to give you some nice AoE damage. These set bonuses for Vengeance don't stand out on the page to make me think that Vengeance is going to be ridiculously crazy, never dying spec in PvP. Well, it probably is already never dying, but viable and super annoying like Prop Paladin currently is. So... okay. Havoc, though, is going to be all right, around the corner. All right, Mage. Mage is getting some pretty nutty one here. Arcane increases your arcane damage dealt to enemies affected by Touch of the Magi by 18%. And then your 4-set is after consuming 8 clear casting, your next Touch of the Magi is instant, incurs no cooldown, and lasts for 6 seconds. So you're going to get this big blast of damage on your Touch of Magi. And then you're also going to get this ability to work towards this instant cast, big blasting Touch of Magi. Maybe this gives you this massive hit. Also, Arcanosphere on an 18% increased Touch of the Magi. It could be fun in PvP. In PvE, I'm not sure if you're going to compete with fire no matter what, so maybe we shouldn't even talk about it. And looking at fire, oh, okay, this might be the biggest winner of all. Your 2-set bonuses increases the duration of combustion. Very important spell. It makes you do ridiculous damage in the entire part of the entire game. All right. And then your 4-set is while combustion is active, you burn for 2% of your maximum health every 1 second, causing your Fire Blast and Phoenix Flames to recharge 100% faster. It's a lot of burst damage. Initially, I was reading this and thinking that's pretty cool. Like the Kiss Curse mechanic, I really like that, where you trade this massive bonus to do damage, but you're also going to take some damage in return. But then I've also realized that if you're intending to crowd control the Mage with this active, they're going to break out of their own crowd control. You're not going to be able to peel the combust. So is it really a Kiss Curse for them? Maybe this needs to do more damage to the Mage. I'm not sure to justify that, but fire is going to be doing a lot of damage. Now, Frost, also a little bit of a winner here. I mean, I say a little bit, but potentially a lot. While Icy Veins is active, and I'm assuming this will also apply to Ice Form. I hope that they make sure that that happens, because Ice Form replaces Icy Veins in PvP. Is active, your spells have a 25% chance to call down a Comet Storm on your target enemy, but this effect cannot occur more than once every 30 seconds. And Frost Mages are doing a lot of spam Frost Bolts in PvP. Now getting an additional Comet Storm on those spam Frost Bolts is going to add a lot of damage. And spicing up that Storm is the 4-set bonus. Enemies hit by Comet Storm take 2% increased damage from your Frost spells up to 10% for 8 seconds. So if you manage to get this chunked out, the only problem is that 8 seconds is not every 30, so these won't line up too well together. Maybe that'll change again moving into the future. We'll have to kind of wait and see. Not sure if it'll make Comet Storm a viable option as a talent, maybe chain them together. But even if you chain them together, I'm not sure if you'd be able to get that stringing along. Seems like that's probably a number thing they're going to have to look at, but getting the extra damage on their Icy Veins, focusing on their Frostbolt, going to be interesting for PvP. And PvE, I don't really know what your AoE rotation necessarily is in PvE, to be honest, so I'm not sure if this will change too much for you in PvE. Now for Shaman, Elemental, this is the first time I've looked at the Shaman one actually. 2-set, your Storm Elemental or your Fire Elemental is active. Your Lava Burst deals 20% additional damage, and you gain Lava Surge every 8 seconds. It's going to give you a lot of sustained damage during your Fire Elemental. And then your 4-set is casting Lava Burst extends the duration of your Storm Elemental and Fire Elemental by 1.5 seconds. If your Storm or Fire Elemental is not active, spending Maelstrom has a 20% chance to reduce its remaining cooldown by 10 seconds instead. So if you could get this thing reduced significantly in cooldown, get them pumped up, and get them to last long, like you could just be a Lava Burst factory. That could be a lot of fun. Enhancement Shaman, You're looking at 2-set bonuses. Spending Maelstrom Weapon has a 3% chance per stack to summon a Feral Spirit. So going to give you the little utility bonuses of that as well. And your Feral Spirit's attacks have a 20% chance to trigger Stormbringer, resetting the cooldown of your Storm Strike. Summoning a giant feral army, and they're just going to keep pumping out massive damage. And if you hit that during your Doom Winds, you're going to be able to combo that with the Covenant-specific legendary as well. That could give you a lot of fun time. Like, that seems like a fun one. I don't know how viable it's gonna be compared to like 40% Fist of Fury damage, but that sounds like a fun one to try. For Resto Shaman, again, sadly, it looks like they're focusing on the AoE heals with this one. We got Chain Heal. Critical strike chance is increased by 30% on all targets that's hit when cast on a target affected by your Riptide. And then your 4-set is Chain Heal. Critical hits reduce the remaining cooldown of your Spirit Link totem by 2 seconds. Chain Heal, again, is going to run you out of mana pretty fast, especially in PvP. It's not the biggest benefit to it either, unless there's still honor talents. I'm not even sure if they've removed the honor talents that had to do with Chain Heal. I think it was like dispelling things when you Chain Healed when it crit. So again, this is not going to help you too much in Arena. And again, in PvE, a lot of people have already told me don't use Chain Heal too much. So doesn't seem too pog, unfortunately, for Resto Shaman. In Ants, I think it's fun. Ellie looks pretty dope. And now moving forward to Warrior, we're getting into, again, the winners to keep on winning stuff here. Every 75 rage consumed increases the effectiveness of your next Colossus Smash or Warbreaker by 2% up to 10%. And then the 4-set is increases the duration of your Colossus Smash and Warbreaker by 3 seconds. You could try some interesting stuff with Ventir here and extend your Colossus Smash through Sinful Surge, and you could also be getting the procced one from Enduring Blows, I believe it's called. So proccing Colossus Smash, extending Colossus Smash, getting an increased duration of it. Maybe that even increases the duration of the procced one. I'm not sure, but this, you could be getting Colossus Smash up almost all the time. So this could be pretty nice for PvP. PvE, it seems to me, at least from my assessment, that Arms has been struggling, so I'm not sure if this will make you viable, but certainly not going to hurt you. In PvP, this is going to be really good. Now for Fury Warrior, Raging Blow has a 20% chance to grant you Recklessness for 4 seconds, and then Raging Blow deals 15% increased damage and gains an additional charge. Like to see the Sustain spells focused on for sustain damage in PvP specifically. Giving you a chance to get Recklessness seems fun. I think there's also legendaries that could possibly get you into more Recklessness windows as well, so it looks like a fun one. Doesn't jump off to the page to me just yet. Maybe it is a bit an additional charge in the Raging Blow. It's grabbing me a bit. The Fury Warrior one's grabbing me a bit. Prop Paladin or Prop Warrior, this is where we start to worry. How much synergy is this going to have with the other specs for PvP specifically? 2-set bonus is consuming 30 rage grants a stack of Outburst. Upon reaching 8 stacks of Outburst, your next Shield Slam or Thunderclap are 200% more effective, or your Ignore Pain is 50% more effective. Ignore Pain. Okay. Avatar increases your damage dealt by an additional 10% and decreases damage taken by 10%. And Avatar instantly grants 8 stacks of Outburst. Why would you could wear this as an Arms Warrior in PvP? 10% more damage on your Avatar gives you a 50% more powerful Ignore Pain for shields. I'm a bit worried about Arms Warriors wearing this in PvP. Not sure about Fury Warrior wearing it, although you're competing with a Colossus Smash one. The only problem is in PvP, usually going after the stuff that makes you not die ends up being better. How viable in PvE? I mean, it's a nice damage reduction cooldown at least now for Avatar, at least a little bit. You get more AoE damage from the Thunderclap. I'm honestly not sure where it'll put you for PvE. I'm more worried about Arms Warriors wearing that in PvP. Now for Warlock, the final one. Affliction set bonuses. What are we getting here? Is Affliction going to be good? While Agony, Corruption, and Unstable Affliction are active, your Drained Soul has a 4% chance, and your Shadow Bolt has a 20% chance to make your next Malefic Rapture cost no soul shards cast instantly. So in PvP, you never use Shadow Bolt, and I've never seen a Warlock use Drained Soul. So in PvP, you're already kind of pretty sad about this. In PvE, I have not seen Affliction Warlock in PvE, so is this going to make you viable? I'm not sure. 4-set bonus, however, Malefic Rapture's damage is increased by 15%, and each cast extends the duration of Corruption, Agony, Unstable Affliction by 2 seconds. Now that's pretty juicy. Getting some more damage on your Soul Shard spender, getting to increase all of your dot durations, because you got a lot of dots to manage with your globals, especially in PvP. So the 4-set's looking a lot more appealing to me, at least for PvP, than the 2-set. Demonology Warlock. This is also one that's getting a pretty sick double legendary combo. What's it getting for set bonuses? Your Hand of Gul'dan has a 5% chance per soul shard to summon a malicious imp. When slain, the malicious imp grants a soul shard and will either deal 19% of spell power, fire damage to all nearby enemies of your implosion, or deal it to your current target. Interesting. So you just get an extra super powered imp. It's going to blow up and do a ton of damage. And now the 4 set is Call Dreadstalkers has a 100% chance to summon an additional Dreadstalker. So with the instant Dreadstalkers from Honor Talents, you're going to get 3 wait, is that every Dreadstalker? Or it's 3. You would get 3 Dreadstalkers. So you're going to get a lot of demons out onto the field. Maybe giving you way more sustained damage. I do like that they're focusing on that. At least, I don't know if this is intended for a PvE standpoint, but a lot of these seem to be focusing on either getting your cooldowns more rapidly, so that you've just got cooldown damage all the time, or focusing on abilities that are more oriented to sustained damage, which I like. So this one could be fun for Demonology. I'm not sure if it's like jumping off the page to me for super crazy, again, like those one-shots and stuff like that, but it looks like a more fun one. Destruction Warlock, your 2 set bonus, casting Rain of Fire or Chaos Bolt has a 20% chance to make the next cast of the other free. Interesting. Now for your 4 set, when Rain of Fire or Chaos Bolt is freely casted, you summon an Infernal. So again, getting you access to those cooldowns more frequently to get your damage up more outside of your specific windows. So it could be fun. It doesn't give you a Dark Soul. I think in PvP that would be important, but in PvE, this could make Destro a lot more fun. Will you be competitively viable? Windwalker, Fire Mage seem to be the winners here. At least from what I've seen so far, and we'll have to look at the other specs when I'm able to get a hold of them. But other than that, I hope that you enjoyed the video. If you did, please leave it a thumbs up. Comment down below with your thoughts, or any of these set bonuses for these classes starting to jump off the page, maybe grabbing your attention for a new main or a new alt moving into 9.2. And other than that, thank you very much for watching the video. I will see you in the next one.